Good morning, students. Today we are going to see the 6th chapter of our science textbook, that is combustion and flame. So let's start our chapter. First we will see what is combustion. So here you can see combustion is a chemical process in which a substance reacts with oxygen to give off heat. That means any chemical reaction where something reacts with the oxygen to produce heat, that can be called as the process of combustion. So what are the things required for this combustion process? Mainly it requires three things, that is oxygen, fuel and the ignition temperature. So what are these? We will discuss now. Oxygen is actually a gas present in our atmosphere and it is a must for the process of combustion. In the absence of oxygen, the combustion process cannot take place. Next is fuel. Fuel is anything on which this combustion process feeds upon. For example, here we can say fire takes place in the presence of oxygen and it gives us heat. So fire is also a process of combustion. And for the fire, for example, we can take firewood. If we will take firewood and we burn it, fire will take place. Then what is burning here? The wood is burning here, so wood will be the fuel. If we will take LPG gas when we will switch it on and with the help of a lighter, we will light it. What is being burnt here? LPG gas. So LPG gas will be the fuel. I hope that you have understood it. Next is ignition temperature. Ignition temperature is the lowest temperature at which something catches fire. For example, as I have this pen in my hand, let's say it starts burning at the temperature of 50 degrees Celsius. It can also burn at the temperature of 100 degrees Celsius and 200 degrees Celsius. But what is the lowest temperature at which it is catching fire? It is 50 degrees Celsius. So the ignition temperature of this pen will be 50 degrees Celsius. That means the lowest temperature at which something catches fire. So for combustion process to take place, we need oxygen, fuel and ignition temperature. Now let's see what are inflammable substances. Inflammable substances are those substances which catches fire readily. That means very easily they catch fire. Some examples are LPG, CNG and alcohol. Here we don't have to give too much heat to them. Their ignition temperature is very low. So if we provide a small amount of heat to them, they will catch fire rapidly or very quickly. Such type of substances are called inflammable substances. Next is types of combustion. There are mainly three types of combustion. We will discuss them one by one. First is rapid combustion. By the word rapid itself, I guess you understand it. Rapid means very quick. That means the combustion which takes place very quickly. Just a very small amount of heat is enough for the combustion process to take place. Such type of combustion are called rapid combustion. Here examples are LPG, CNG, biogas, etc. These fuels, you can take LPG, that is liquefied petroleum gas, CNG, that is compressed natural gas, or biogas. These fuels, if you will provide very small amount of heat, it catches fire very quickly. So such type of combustion will be your rapid combustion. Next is spontaneous combustion. Children, the meaning of spontaneous is natural or automatic. Here what happens is the substance or the fuel catches fire on its own. We don't provide it any heat. By the circumstances, natural circumstances, they catch on fire on their own. For example, phosphorus or forest fire. Phosphorus, I hope that you remember because in previous chapters I have shown you one video where this phosphorus, when it is kept outside, when it came in contact with the air, instantaneously it starts catching fire without us doing anything. So phosphorus will be one example of spontaneous combustion. Next is forest fire. Sometimes what happens, especially in the grasslands, as the grasses dry up very quickly and catches fire very quickly during the summer, as the temperature is very high, due to very high temperature, sometimes the grasses reach their ignition temperature and they catches fire spontaneously without us doing anything. So that will be your another example. Natural forest fire is an example of spontaneous combustion. Sometimes forest fire take place due to our fault also, but if it is naturally catching the fire, it will be an example of spontaneous combustion. Next is explosion. Here you have to pay attention that for explosion to take place, you will see that it produces light, heat and sound. These three things will be produced in the process of explosion, where something reacts with oxygen and it gives off light. It may be in the form of flame or in the form of glow, but it will be light, it will produce light, it will produce heat and as well as sound. Then it will be called as explosion. For example, firecrackers. Whenever we burn firecrackers, you will see that it also lights up, it produces some amount of heat and it produces a bang sound. Next is dynamites. Dynamites may be used for various purposes, like for the construction of road. If we have to break down a mountain, in such processes also dynamites are used. So it also, when undergoes the process of combustion, produces light, heat and sound. So these are the three types of combustion. Next we will see how to control fire or how to control this combustion process, because we know that fire is a very dangerous thing. So what are the things we can do to control it? There are mainly three things, or basically three things which we can do. I hope you remember that for combustion to take place we need oxygen, fuel and ignition temperature. All these three should be present there for combustion to take place. So why not take one of them out? If we will take any one of these three, automatically combustion process will stop. So let's see. First what we can do, we can lower the temperature or lower the ignition temperature. For example, if you see some woods are burning and you want to put out the fire, what can we do? We can pour some buckets of water there, and what will happen? The water will cool down the woods and it will bring down the ignition temperature. Once the ignition temperature is not there, or the temperature is lower than the ignition temperature, the fire will itself put off. One more thing you can do is also the use of fire extinguisher. As I have written here, fire extinguisher also decreases the temperature. That is why it also helps in putting out the fire. Next is remove oxygen. What can we do? With the help of wet blanket or fire extinguisher cylinders. How we can do it? If something is catching fire, for example, let's take this pen caught fire. So what can I do to stop this fire? I can take a wet cloth and wrap it around. What will happen? As I will wrap the cloth around it, then oxygen will be absent inside the blanket or inside the cloth. That means the fuel which is burning will be cut off from the oxygen. That is why in the absence of oxygen, fire will put off. Fire extinguisher cylinder. I hope that you have seen it. It is there in our school also. So when you will spray the fire extinguisher, what happens? A gush of carbon dioxide gas comes out of it and it envelops the whole thing. If you will take this pen and you will just spray the fire extinguisher on it, it will the carbon dioxide gas produced from the cylinder will completely envelop it. That means it will cover it up. So what it is doing? It is doing two things. First is it is cutting off the supply of oxygen to the fuel. It will completely envelope the fuel, and you remember that carbon dioxide is heavier than oxygen. So carbon dioxide will sit on it. So it will cut off the supply of oxygen. Another thing is, as I have already mentioned, it will lower the temperature. The carbon dioxide is compressed in low temperature inside these cylinders. So once it comes out, it will be in lower temperature. So fire extinguisher will lower the ignition temperature as well as cut off the supply of the oxygen. So in this way we can control fire. The last one is we have to remove the fuel. It is actually not possible in all of the cases. For example, if a building is caught fire, okay, the building is burning. So in this case, as the building is burning, what is our fuel? Our fuel will be the building itself. So can you remove the building? Of course not. So what can we do? We can opt for any of these two processes. This removing of the fuel may be possible in case of some small scale fires, like if a pile of wood caught fire. If one wood is burning, we can remove the other woods so that the fire doesn't spread. If some part of the house is burning, then we can remove some of our clothes and all, then it may decrease the speed of the fire. So this is actually not valid in every case, but these two can be done for that. And if we will take any one of these three out, then the combustion process will stop.